here we go. Here's what we do. You got to remember the ratios. You got to understand what is what. Okay? So we've got the hypotenuse, which is the long one, and that's the h. We just call it h. Opposite is O, and the adjacent is A. That's easy. All right? So you just got to remember HOA. If you happen to be a member of a homeowners association, you get angry. So don't remember that, because that'll make you angry. Because they always want to tell you how you can build your house, and what the hell business is it of theirs, right? There are three ratios here. There's a ratio of these two, and then there's a ratio of these two, and the ratio of these two. Now remember, all a ratio is a number over a number. Okay, it's a number and a number. So if I'm sitting in a class, and there's 12 students, and there's one of me, the ratio is 12 to 1. 12 students to 1 teacher. That's how you write it, 12 to 1. Okay? That is a number. It's just a flat number, all right? So we're not talking super complicated stuff. We're talking creating a fraction and then calculating it. That's really all it is. But you have to remember this relationship, okay? Well, the relationships that we care about primarily to begin with are sine, cosine, and tangent. Sine, cosine, and tangent. Sine, cosine, tangent. Just repeat it. Sine, cosine, tangent. Sine, cosine, tangent. Okay? Don't worry about what it is. Don't worry about why they named it that. I don't know. Okay? I don't know. All right? I don't know why they call it sine, cosine. There's probably a reason. I probably learned at some point. Probably forgot it. But I don't know. I don't care at this point. But you got to remember sine, cosine, tangent, because when we're talking about a sine wave in AC, we're talking about this ratio. We're talking about power factor in a generator. We're talking about that ratio. And we're talking about cutting rafters, if you care. We're talking about tangent. Okay? So you can use these in your mechanics, and mechanics need to know angles. Well, in case you're not familiar with this is how an automotive laser alignment tool works, because it knows distances. Here's the tire, here's another tire, it can measure angles, it can do all the, and it does this automatically, and it goes ding, 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 and we've got an alignment. All right? Well, anybody who's ever taken a tape measure and measured this way across a bed frame, or measured this way and this way across a deck or a picture frame, he knows that if this side, if this measurement and this measurement are equal, then this is square. Well, that's trigonometry. You're doing trig. Okay? So the relationships are sine, cosine, and tangent. I want to screenshot this page or whatever. Do that. All right? So we're talking about this angle and this angle and this angle adding up to 180. Well, what that means then is if I take this angle, which I'm going to call 1, and if I take this angle, which I'm going to call 2, probably didn't see that coming, did you? And I know this angle is 90 degrees, then angle 1 in degrees plus angle 2 in degrees plus 90 equals 180. That's a fact. It's just a fact. You don't have to, you just learn it. Triangles have 180 degrees. Triangles have 180 degrees. Okay? So a ratio is just a comparison of two numbers. So if I know this side and this side, then I can have a ratio. If I know this side and this side, I can have a ratio. And if I know this side or this side, I can have a ratio. But here's another interesting thing. If I know this angle, I know the ratio. Because if that ratio produces that angle, then that angle produces that ratio. It's fairly straightforward. So an angle of 36.32 degrees produces a cosine of 80, which is point, or 0.8. Sorry, not 80, 0.8. Well, 0.8 is power factor in a genset. If you've ever looked at a genset, it says power factor 0.8. Guess what? It's the cosine of that angle, and that angle represents the degrees of rotation inside the generator. Well, the generator's turning 0, 90, 180, 270, 360, 0, 90, 180, 270. Well, that's an angle. Those are angles, okay? So screenshot it, whatever. I'm trying to work on worksheets. Don't have time yet, but remember this.